Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, the extender will be needed in blocks. Finding yourself in your easy seat, grounding your sits bones into the ground. Let's take a few breaths here. Inhale through your nose, filling your belly, bringing it up to the clavicles, bringing it up to that third eye penthouse. Suspend. Exhale. Inhale, filling that belly, bringing it up to the clavicle, bringing it up to the penthouse. Suspend. Audible exhale slowly. Pushing all that air out gently. Inhale, filling that belly, bringing it up to the clavicles, the penthouse. Suspend. And exhale. So I want to try a different kind of breath. Index finger and middle finger on your third eye. Plugging one side of your nose, you're going to inhale through one side. Once you inhale and you suspend, you're going to plug on the other side and exhale through the opposite nostril. Okay, so starting with that right side, you're going to inhale on that right side. Suspend. Release out the opposite nostril. Block the left side and inhale through the right. Plug off the other side. And exhale. Go ahead and take a few of those at your own pace. Continue with that. What this breath does is balance the right side and the left side of your body, your feminine and your masculine energy. It helps with calming. Well, all breath does. Finishing up, we will begin our little warm-up here. Taking the palms of your hands, just so gently massaging around the base of that neck and going down the spine or the neck into the traps. Working your way back up. Take your time, whatever feels good. Just working your way, massaging up and down the neck. And when complete, interlacing your fingers at the back of your neck. And I don't know where you're tight and tense, but gently do head circles. Go with the side that isn't so tight and tense with you. Gentle movements. Keeping that neck safe. Move it any direction you can safely. And the opposite side. Coming back down to neutral, palms of the hands at the knees. Bringing that right ear to that right shoulder. Exhale, come to center. Inhale, dropping that left ear to that left shoulder, feeling that stretch. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, dropping that right ear to that right shoulder. On the next exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, dropping that left ear to that left shoulder. On the exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, bringing those shoulders up to the ears. And on the exhale, roll them back and down to the earth. Those scapulas, get them moving. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, rolling those scapulas back and down. Take a few more of those. Opposite direction, bringing those shoulders up and forward and dropping them down. Up, bringing them up and forward and dropping them down. Bringing them up and forward and dropping them down. Any organic movement you need here. Taking that right hand, placing it parallel with your right hip, circle sweeping that arm up overhead, coming into a lateral stretch. That rib cage is open and lifted. Do not dump into the side. Bend this elbow a little bit. Inhale, push up. You're in center, dropping that left hand back down to the earth and extending over. If your hips lift off the ground, come out a little bit and ground your sits bones and come back in. Exhale, push up. Take a few of these at your own pace. Okay, so when you are ready, meet me in the center position. Arms extended up overhead, shoulders dropped away from your ears. Turning those palms out to face away from you and pushing all that energy back down to the earth. Circle sweeping those arms up overhead. And one more time, turning those palms out and pushing it back down to the earth. Inhale, circle sweep up overhead. And turning those palms out and pushing the energy back down to the earth. Coming into staff pose. Legs are extended long out in front of you. Hands by your hips. Bringing your right leg in to meet the inner part of your thigh. Bringing that left leg out. Sit up here as tall as you can. Circle sweeping the arms up overhead. You're gonna lift the rib cage, drop those shoulders, twist and release. Some people fold all the way down to where their head's touching their legs if they're flexible enough, but keeping your neck in a neutral position. We tend to always do this, which ends up hurting our necks. Sliding that arm up your leg, circle sweeping your arms up overhead once again, lifting that rib cage, hinging and twisting at those hips, and Dropping down on the exhale. Sliding that hands up the legs. One more time. Circle sweeping your arms up overhead. Lifting that rib cage, hinging and twisting at the hips. So it's lift that rib cage. Lift, twist, and release. If you don't lift, twist, and release, you're going to feel it in your diaphragm. It's going to feel more so uncomfortable. Sliding your hands up, your leg, bringing that knee in, extending the opposite leg out, bringing this one in to meet your inner thigh, setting that leg out. Oh, my nose itches, hold on. Okay. Inhale, circle sweep arms up overhead. Lift that rib cage, hinge and twist. And release. This is the second time I've done this video. I wasn't recording on the right platform. And I didn't realize it until after I finished the video. All right. Bring your hands back up. Lift that rib cage. Arms up overhead. Lift that rib cage. Lift, twist, and release. Sliding up once more. Circle sweep those arms up overhead. Lift that rib cage, twist, and release. Sliding up, bringing your legs out in front of you, sweeping them over to one side, finding ourselves in tabletop, lifting that tailbone, bringing that gaze up to meet the where the wall meets the ceiling. Do not throw your head too far back. And tabletop, your wrists should be under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Okay, now on the exhale, round that spine, drop that tailbone, and come into cat. Inhale into your cow. Exhale, moving into your cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Okay, now reset yourself in tabletop, extending that right leg back and out, toes pointing towards the floor. You're going to bring it over your left leg. Take your gaze to your toes, looking over your shoulder. Exhale. Bring that leg back up and out. And then you're going to bring it out laterally to the other side. Here I like to lean back, lean forward a little bit, lean back. All right, and then I like to see if I can drop down. If you need to, you can put your blocks under here if it's more comfortable to bring the earth up to you. Okay, so walking your hands back. You need blocks on both sides of you, on the outer side of on this side of the leg. And on this side. Hands on your hips to the front of the room. Bringing that left arm down to your block. Bringing that up, right arm up into the air and over. Looking at the palm. Exhale, come up. Your center. Lift that rib cage. Twist at the hips and release. You can release onto your legs, onto your block, whatever's comfortable to you. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead, come back to center, dropping that left arm back down onto the block and coming over. Inhale up. Lift that rib cage, twist and release. Or at the hips. You're doing this all at the hips. Inhale, bringing your arms up, coming to center, dropping that left hand down onto your block, and coming into a half circle. Pushing up. Lift that rib cage, twist, and release. Bringing your hands back up to your hips. Bringing that leg in. All right, coming back down into tabletop. Lifting that back leg up and out. Bringing it over the right leg and looking over your right shoulder. Bring yourself back to tabletop. Extend that leg out, or like neutral position. Bringing that leg out laterally. Here I rock back and forth in it. That's just my preference. Drop down on my elbows. Walking my hands back towards my knee. Bringing my hands up onto my hips. Blocks are needed here. Okay. Inhale, circle sweeping my arms up overhead. Prayer hands, touching sternum bone. Circle sweep arms up overhead. Dropping that right arm down to your block, coming over into half circle. Exhale, center. Inhale, center. Lift that rib cage, drop that shoulders. And twist and release. Inhale, arms up, come to center. Exhale, bringing that arm down to the block. Coming up, arms up overhead in a V, lifting that rib cage, dropping those shoulders away from the ears. But your rib cage is lifted, twist, and release. One more time, arms up overhead, dropping that right arm down to the block. Inhale, come up, lift that rib cage, lift, twist, and release. Hands on your hips, bringing that leg back in. Okay, I did those, okay. All right, coming back down into tabletop. Here, bringing your hands into the center of the mat to meet each other. Your hips are slightly apart. Inhale, lift your arm up and extend out to the side of the room. On the exhale, sweep it through and under. Inhale, back up and open up. Exhale, thread the needle through. One more time. Inhale, extending up and out. Exhale, bringing it in. Bring that shoulder to the floor. If you have shoulder issues, please be very careful, or this may not be for you. You could take child's pose. You can create a bind with your arm. Bringing that arm down to the mat, pressing it firmly into the mat, bringing that arm up and out and extending out once more. All right. Okay, palms of the hands close to each other once again. Inhale, open up to the opposite side of the room. Exhale, thread the needle through. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, threading the needle through. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bringing it back through. Come down on that shoulder. You can rest your arm like this beside your head, or you can go ahead and take that bind, opening the shoulder up. Releasing that bind, planting it firmly on the mat, pushing up, bringing that arm up and out, and bringing it back down to the mat. You can do that as slow as you like. Sometimes slower is better. Okay. So in tabletop position, we're staying in tabletop. I should have got my thing out. Lifting that right leg up and back, bring it out slightly laterally on your mat and plant it firmly on the ground. And from here, you're going to open up. That is one way. Another way to do half circle. Okay. From half circle, it could be, this could be like your side arm balance. If you cannot do a side arm balance, a side arm balance. I'm going to bring myself into plank, and we're going to do it on this side, top of a push-up. Firmly pressing into your left hand and coming up. Another modified version to do this. I'm going to come down on my knee to plant my arm. You can do it like that. Okay, so we were like this. Okay, that's where we were. So legs straight out and bring it lateral. So, is there anything else I wanted to do on this side? No. Also, we don't have to bring it back out. Okay. Extending the opposite leg out, toes pointed to the ground, bringing it out laterally. And this is basically half circle without the blocks. And side arm balance can be done from plank, or that could be your modification of side arm balance, which side arm balance, top of a plank. I'm going to bring my knee down. Another variation can be engaging that core basically. So play around in that pose, whatever feels comfortable for you. Back to tabletop, curling those toes, pushing up and back into downward facing dog. You pedal that dog out. All right, walking your feet between your hands, coming into a forward fold, half fold, basically in an L shape, an upside down L shape, forward fold, bend those knees, load those arms, and ride your exhale all the way up to the top. Okay, bringing those arms down and around to your side, palms facing forward. Join me here for some breath work. Some deep inhales through the nose, suspend, and exhale. Inhale through the nose, suspend. Go ahead and give the exhale. Inhale through the nose, suspend, exhale. From here, dancer's pose is quite simple. Your toes are facing the front of the room, hip width apart, your feet. Step that right foot back slightly. You can do this with blocks if you have balance issues. Hold on, I gotta adjust here. Oh, no, not dancer. Dancer's pose is your hands are on your hips. You need a lot of balance to do this. Toes facing towards the front of the room. Find a non-moving point to focus on. Gently lift that leg up and back. Bring that leg up, or bring your hand to meet your foot and hinge forward. Now, for some people, that dancer is new to them. Your dancer may just be this. Balancing here if you don't have the greatest balance. But hand on the hip if you have more balance. And arm straight out. Bringing that arm down, releasing that foot to the earth. Opposite side. Hands on your hips. Draw that one foot back. Lifting that back foot slowly off the earth once you find your focus point. Bringing that arm back slowly, gently. Take your time so you don't fall out. Your toes should be facing the front of the room. Whichever your toes are facing is the way that you're going to fall. I fell out, so okay, hold on. Bringing that foot back down to the earth. What else did I have here to show? Oh, okay. So block in your hand. Step that foot back slightly. Bring that block forward. Find you a non-moving point. Your toes are facing the front of the room still. Plant that block. Bring that back leg up. Find your balance. When you find your balance, all right. So when you're ready for the other side at your own pace, go ahead and do the same thing. Check your toe alignment. Step your foot back. Block in front of you, hand on your hip. One side's going to be easier for you to do than the other. Planting that block about a foot out in front of you. Okay, and when you're ready and you have your balance, half moon. This is my easier side to do. I'm going to hold that just for a few more seconds. And I'm going to come back down. Okay. And some other poses. Your feet are facing the front of the room. This is pyramid pose. Step that right foot back and towards the lateral or towards the middle of the mat. Your foot's like that. You take this foot, the heel, and then line up the heel with your instep of your other foot. Most definitely might need a block. Okay. So like your warrior pose. Inhale, arms up overhead. And you should be facing the front of the room. Like the hip square to the front of the room. Lift that rib cage and hinge and come down at the hips. You can touch your ankle, or if a block's more comfortable. Other variations is you can bring your arms up behind you, interlace those fingers for your pyramid pose. Or here's fine too. All right, coming up, I am just going to turn my heels the opposite direction, making sure my feet are in line. All right, placing my block there, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Your hips are going to be square to the front of the room kind of thing. Inhale, arms up overhead. Lifting that rib cage. I'm doing a hip check. Lifting that rib cage and hinging at the hips. They generally say don't do more than 2 balancing poses. I already have 2 balancing poses here. So turn your feet out sideways. You're facing the long edge of your mat. Hands on your hips. Circle sweep your arms up and overhead. Wide leg forward fold. This one's my husband's favorite in our Hatha classes because he likes his mat behind mine. Walking your hands over to that left foot. Bringing them back center. Walking them over to the right foot. Come back to center. Coming up, bringing your hands to your hips, heel toe your feet in 2 times. Okay, let me see if I can remember. Circle sweep your arms up overhead, 5-pointed star. I don't remember, hold on. Drop down into goddess. Shoulders should be the same, arms and shoulders should be the same level. Back to 5-pointed star. And dropping back to goddess. 5-pointing star. Dropping in and out. Okay, there's another one. Okay, circle sweep your arms up overhead. Interlacing your fingers. Bringing your arms down to about halfway midpoint. Bending your knees. Hold here. Inhale, circle sweep arms up overhead. 5-pointed star. And I am going to bring us back down to the floor. Since I showed you a few things, this isn't exactly a full yoga practice, but finding yourself on the floor. I'm going to turn this direction. Okay, bringing yourself gently down on a laying position. Knees or feet out to the lateral sides of the mat, arms out to a T, windshield wipers. Inhale, dropping those knees and turning your head to the opposite side. Exhale, bring them to center. Inhale, dropping them to the opposite side and bringing your neck to the other side of the room or your gaze. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop those knees to the left side of the room, face towards the right side of the room. Take a few more of those at your own pace. And when you're complete, bring your feet to the center of your mat, planting them firmly into the ground. Give everybody a few seconds to catch up with us. Bringing those knees into your chest and giving yourself a hug. You can rock here. Bringing your arms back out to a T. And dropping those knees to the right side of the room. Inhale, slowly bring them to center. Breathe here. And on the next exhale, drop them to the opposite side of the room. The left side of the room. Any other movements Once we come out of this, I'll give you a few seconds to do. So slowly and gently start bringing your legs back up into center. And this is the opportunity for any final movement. Everybody else that is just ready to bring their feet down onto the mat, go ahead and do so. Palms of the hands facing the ceiling. We're just waiting for everybody to catch up with us that are doing their final few movements. This is corpse pose, Shavasana. You can lay here as long as you like, just breathing in and soaking in a mini little practice. Thank you for showing up today on the mat for yourself. You can stay here, but I'm going to wrap the video up. I will show you before we exit I'll show you how to exit when you're ready. Basically, just listen to my words. Bring your knees up, planting your feet on the floor, both feet, and choosing a side to surrender your knees to and come into corpse pose. You can also lay here for a while as long as you like. Just letting your body catch up. But whenever you're ready, planting your palm into the ground and pushing up and coming into an easy seat. Thank you so much for joining me. I am still going to practice a little bit more with these poses and a few others, so you might see them in other videos, from how to do them to cueing. Like I said, I'm still going through the program myself. We just started module 3. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like these videos, hit the like button, subscribe. I know I haven't posted enough yoga videos lately because I should be working on my practicum, but I'm doing everything else. But I have it written. I just need to implement it. Well, thank you again for joining me, and have a blessed day.